Many of you will remember a little bit over a decade ago there was a short story serialized in the Oswego Eagle called Redemption, and it was a murder mystery set here at the Oswego Speedway. Well, over that time period, Mike has expanded it into a full-length book. Did you decide on the title?
You know, I'm still kind of attached to Redemption, but I went to Amazon, did a search on the word redemption, and got over 11,000 results. Decided that it might be better to come up with something a bit more descriptive, so my working title right now is A Shot at Redemption. If anybody who actually read the original version and remembers it and liked it, anyone is welcome to go to my website, michaelsova.com, shoot me an email, suggest a title, and you know, if I go with it, I'll sign a copy of the book for you.
There you go. Now, how are you doing with the book itself? Before we get into the book and how it is, let's talk about how close are you to actually having it published?
That's an excellent question. The book is completed. I've got some people reading it right now, and I may or may not do final revisions, and then I have to decide if I want to go the traditional route, finding an agent and a publisher, in which case it's minimum 18 months before the book is on a shelf in a bookstore, or self-publish, which is the most likely scenario, I think, at this point. And then, without a doubt, I will have something ready to sell by the start of next race season, if not a whole lot sooner.
All right, now, self-publishing is not the same as vanity press, is that correct?
That is correct. The industry has changed so much. I'm sure any book buyer has noticed the brick and mortar bookstores are going away, and self-publishing, which used to be almost a last resort for authors who could not find a traditional publisher, even some established authors, well-established authors, are going the self-publishing route now because a variety of reasons. Royalties are higher, and like I said before, it gets the word in the marketplace that much sooner.
Now, how do you want to talk about the book? You want to talk about the details? I said it's set here at the Oswego Speedway, but it is a murder mystery.
It is a murder mystery. The first book, short story, I guess I should say, I don't mind saying now, it wasn't a great piece of literature for a number of reasons, and I will own all of them. It did serve a couple of purposes. The first one, I don't believe anybody had ever done anything like that before, so it was kind of neat to tackle a project like that. But also, when I was finished with it, I thought I had the foundation of something very solid, much more comprehensive. The short story was written exclusively for the fans here at Oswego. The current manuscript is much more mainstream, much wider appeal.
It is, but of course anybody who's familiar with the Oswego Speedway is going to like the setting and everything that takes place in the book. A lot of detail.
Yeah, and I will thank my years writing for the Oswego Eagle and just being a lifetime fan here. I got to know a lot of drivers, a lot of car owners, just the way things are done here, and I really enjoyed being able to incorporate a lot of that information.
I know you talk to a lot of drivers and use their information, like Keith Gilliam and a bunch of other drivers, to help you round out your knowledge and write the book.
Yeah, one of the sort of interesting challenges for me, and my eyesight is not good. I cannot get a regular driver's license, so obviously I've never driven a race car. I did have the opportunity to go for a ride in a two-seater, and it gave me a very different perspective on what it's like to be out there, and hopefully I did a good job capturing that. And I will say, anyone who is interested in at least getting a sample of the current manuscript, it is not available for sale yet. But if you go to michaelsova.com, I've got links there for Facebook, for Twitter, also for email. Shoot me an email, put Oswego in the subject line. I'll be more than happy to email you the first 5 chapters of the book.
I believe the lines at the concession stand are long, and people are saying to me, do something about it. There's absolutely nothing I can do about the long lines at the concession stand. I'm sorry, but I can't. You've given people, if they read the book, a lot of ideas on how to sabotage the super modifier.
Yeah, I should credit Keith Gilliam for that in part. I can also credit Denny Wheeler, former super modified driver, an owner as well, and I don't know how they came by their information. That's not up to me to say, but it was great for them to talk to me, and I was able to put some interesting stuff in the book.
So, best case scenario, Mike, when is your book going to be available?
Again, it goes back to the publishing question. If I self-publish, I have somebody right now working on some cover artwork for me. And if I go self-publishing, let's say conservatively by the start of next race season for sure.
Okay, I want to do the narration.
Oh, for the audio version?
For the audio version, yeah.
Cut me a deal and we'll talk about that.
Okay. All right, the book is called right now Redemption, but it may be called Shot at Redemption.
It may be called A Shot at Redemption, and what I'm really trying to do right now is get my name out there, familiarize people with my work, so please visit michaelsova.com. I have a weekly blog, I have a weekly book report, or book review rather, that I post, and there's some great information there about the book. There's excerpts from the book. There's an entire page devoted to Oswego Speedway, the history of the sport. I talk about why I chose to set my book here and make the main character super modified driver. So some good stuff, I think.
His name is?
I'm sorry?
Whose name is?
Cash Douglas.
Cash Douglas.
That's a good racer name.
Yeah, it is a good. And you mentioned some racers that really are here and some that aren't.
That is correct. In the original version, there were a lot of Oswego drivers mentioned. In the current manuscript, it's really the more notable Bentley Warren, Jim Champagne, Richie Evans, and guys like that.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much for taking time to be with us, and good luck with the book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.